This is a film about our friend, Sean Maloney. Sean was an executive vice president at Intel Corporation, known for his incredible energy and great speaking style. In fact, many industry observers thought he might well be the company's next CEO. Sean was a serious rower and had always been in great physical shape. But in late February 2010, he suffered a debilitating stroke. It paralyzed much of his right side and left him in the hospital for more than 6 weeks. The stroke also destroyed the portion of his brain normally used to produce speech. Given the severity of the stroke, it's understandable why some people doubted that Sean would ever return to work at Intel, let alone make it back to a senior position. But then, those people don't know Sean.
A lot of people ask me if there's some kind of wisdom or lesson I can give them based upon my experience. Well, there's really only one. Never, ever have a stroke, period.
My first impression of Sean was he scared the crap out of me. He was so driven and so well respected in the company. And even back then, you know, he'd been Grove's TA, and I was new to Intel, and so he was larger than life.
Sean was an extremely healthy person, basically ate much better than I eat, exercises harder than anybody I know, had all the reasons to believe from checkups that he was healthy, and had had a physical within the year before his stroke.
On the day of the stroke, we went and my father and I, Sean, we went and ran the dish up in the hills next to Stanford University. So we, ran it very well, extremely competitive. He runs very fast. He never wants me to have the edge in any competition, right?
When I came back, I felt really weird, and I said to George, "I'm gonna go upstairs and have a sleep," and George said he would keep an eye on me. And I went up, walked over to the bed, bam, which was the carotid artery. It froze.
I was in New York City in the back of a cab on my way to meet investors. And I got a call from Margaret telling me what had happened, and I was knocked over. I couldn't believe it. It's the last thing that I would expect from the healthiest person I knew.
I've known Sean for about 15 years, and I've worked with him on dozens of large-scale speeches and presentations all around the world. He was, without a doubt, the most naturally gifted and articulate speaker I've ever known.
Over the next week or two, his vocabulary went from 2 to 5 words, and then with the speech therapy he was getting, it was going up to 10, 15, 50.
Before I had the chance to go see him, I always think that it would be a different Sean. And I thought that he would completely change his lifestyle and slow down. But the first time I saw him, I knew that Sean was still the old Sean, that he was still as driven as he was, and that he was still ambitious, and he was still, push for his goal, his dream.
11 months after the stroke, I came back to Intel, and I had a very small speech to give at the sales conference, and I must have read through it 1,000 times.
Ladies and gentlemen, our friend and colleague, Sean Maloney.
I expected an ovation. I expected some thunderous applause. I did not expect, 5,000 people on their feet, cheering, shouting, crying, hugging for, 10 minutes. They wouldn't stop.
I am back. And you have no idea how good it feels to be saying that.
It can be done. It requires an incredible investment in time, energy, and focus.